I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I hear earthquakes and lightning. I see imperfect image. I'm sorry, that was a terrible fucking intro, but I laughed my ass off, and hopefully somebody else did too. Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of the Imperfect Image Podcast. I am still Jordan.
And I am still Ashley.
Oh
welcome
my God.
to the show.
I'm so glad that we're still ourselves, because this podcast is about being yourself.
Just being exactly who you are.
Unless no one likes that, in which case you should change everything.
Right. Always do what other people want you to do. That's one of the important lessons of this podcast.
Especially if they're like authority figures and you just want to please them. You should just do anything that they say.
Absolutely.
That's
why you want a check mark.
I like to check with my politicians before I vote for my politicians. Like just,
or make any basic life choice.
Well, just really make sure
you
want to make sure that the person that's in power is who you're going to vote for.
It's an interesting way of looking at it. I think I'm changing my voting strategy.
Because I'm your elder, and thus you're just listening to me.
Right.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. So this is our first episode not together in studio or in car or, anywhere within arm's reach.
Yep, I can't see that guy's face right now.
No, it's actually, I don't like this at all. We're going to have to get used to this.
Yeah.
And
we were saying before we started, it's hard because we don't have the visual cues that we're used to. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm finding it frustrating that it took, half an hour for me to figure out how to get this audio working?
Yeah, at least.
And the most frustrating thing is I don't think I did anything different when it started working.
Right. It just started.
It was one of those computer miracles where you try the same thing 10 times and all of a sudden it works.
I think that's most technology.
It's like if turning
Try it 10 times.
If turning it off and turning it on didn't work the first 9 times, it will probably work on the 10th try.
Absolutely. Life lessons for you right there. Put that in the book.
Life lessons. If at first you don't succeed, keep doing the same thing until it works.
It's perfect.
That's how I got my wife, actually. I basically kept telling her that I'd like to marry her, and then one day she just gave in.
And look, life is turning out perfectly for you.
So far.
I think that is a good life lesson.
Yeah, it's been alright so far. So, what's going on? What are you doing over there in downtown Calgary?
Well, I'm currently drinking a rum and root beer that I've just made myself.
Are you using a SodaStream root beer?
I'm using a SodaStream root beer, yep.
Keeping
the bottle usage down over here.
Would you go as far as to say that this episode is brought to you by SodaStream root beer?
Or Havana Club rum.
Ah.
It's brought to me and you and the rest of the people listening by those two drinks.
I think that's a much better choice. Is this episode brought to you by Havana Club rum?
Yes, perfect.
Also,
and what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking some sort of a Tempranillo that Lauren brought home, imported by a Canadian company, but a product of Spain.
We like Tempranillos.
Yes, we do like Tempranillos. This is fantastic. I would have guessed. I'm giving a little nose here.
Yep.
Okay, on the nose, I would have gone with a Shiraz.
Okay.
And then flavor-wise, maybe not quite as sharp as a Shiraz, so I would have gone maybe like a... I have absolutely no fucking idea. I'm not that good with wine, actually.
I was expecting to hear a little bit about...
Oh, like sorry, here.
Rolling around in your mouth.
Hold on. I'm really going to try to get some air in this. Hold on, just give me a second.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, now that there's some air in it, I can totally tell that it's a Tempranillo.
That's all it needed. When you bring air into it, you automatically are able to dissect what wine you're drinking.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say with anything in life, like as long as you bring air into it, you're good.
Well, that is the lifeblood of, being a human.
Well, and I've just looked it up. That is the origination of the word. Did I just say origination?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, you did.
That's the origin of the word blowjob. If you put some air into it, it becomes a good thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Okie dokie. So why don't we actually hit the podcast here?
Let's get into some content.
So speaking of drinks,
yes.
I've tried some new drinks in the last while that I wanted to discuss, but I wanted to give you an opening to start discussing any new drinks that you've had.
You want to start with me, do you?
Well, that's the plan, but also because I know that you're completely on the spot and have no notes, and it's funny that way.
Yes, I'm winging it today, folks, so excuse me for being even more lackluster than usual. That's always awesome.
In a couple
I do have some new drinks that I've been having. I have tried the Common Crown IPA.
Okay.
Common Crown is a brewery here in Calgary.
Oh, funny, because I was going to say we should almost have a section in one of these podcasts of all the new breweries that have opened up in Calgary, because there's a ton of them. It's crazy.
Yes, I agree. We should actually feature that somehow, because there is a whole new microbrewery culture coming out. You're totally right.
It's insane. There's so many.
Absolutely. So, I'm not normally an IPA fan. Brad likes IPAs, so we bought some because I thought, I'll give them a try. I like this one. I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was able to drink 2 the other night with no issues, so that's always impressive.
Is it a little less hoppy, or what's the deal with that one?
Yeah, it just had a smoothness that maybe some of them don't. And sometimes the hoppiness doesn't bother me if I think the flavor's quite good. And this one, it's not like it's probably anything special to an IPA drinker, but it was palatable to me. So
right.
I don't know what that tells the audience, but I'm a fan of Common Crown in general. I've had some of their other beers. I would definitely recommend giving them a shot.
Cool.
I've also had the new Amber Ale from the Airdrie Brewing Company, and the name is escaping me now.
There's an Airdrie Brewing Company?
We had one the other night.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not very helpful because I can't give you the name. But if you look it up, Airdrie has a beer. And it was an amber ale. It was pretty good. It had a hoppiness to it too, which makes sense.
Is it called the Airdrie Brewing Company?
No, but it's Airdrie something.
Oh, it's the Fitzsimmons Brewing Company.
Fitzsimmons, correct.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I like that one too. I've had those a few times.
So I've had that lately. And then in Brad's stash that he moved in, he brought about, I don't know, 50 bottles. Maybe it's not that many, but it feels like that many of alcohol. So pretty much every day is a new adventure over here.
I like that. I think I'd like to be in that.
just to sit down in the pile of alcohol.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
When you say you'd like to be in it, that's exactly what you mean.
Like some people dream of rolling in money. I don't.
You dream of rolling in alcohol.
Yes, I do dream of that.
Perfect. I can't judge you for that.
Because I was on the internet trying to find your Fitzsimmons Brewing Company. I thought I should look this one up because I couldn't quite remember the name. But this wine that we've been drinking a lot of, the brand is called Monasterio. I highly recommend it. I can't remember which one. I'm just looking through. Now I've got too much information and I can't remember which one we've been drinking. But it's a product of Spain and it's phenomenal. Like, we're finding it on sale for $10 a bottle, and it's probably, like, I want to say it should probably be more like a $40 bottle.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think I can picture the bottle. I've seen it at your house before.
Yeah. You like the bottle because it's kind of an older looking bottle. It's got these nice block letters and stuff. It's cool. Everything about it I actually like a lot. Oh, you know what? It's a Tempranillo as well. Oh my god.
So basically you're a big Tempranillo fan.
It looks like it. Currently, hold on. Yep, I'm a Tempranillo fan.
That was quite the swish that just occurred there.
I actually inhaled a little bit of that too.
So, I don't have much else to highlight. I mean, even this Havana Club is new to me, which is apparently weird, because I've never heard of it before, but...
Yeah, you should try leaving the house at some point so you can
apparently,
find these things out.
I'm just learning... I'm learning about life right now, okay? So...
That's nice. You finally got a man and you can learn about life.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and yourself?
I don't have a man.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, that's okay. Sure, there's a nice one out there somewhere who loves you.
I'll find one day.
Right?
I have been drinking in the last couple of days from the Eau Claire Distillery, which is down in Turner Valley, Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
I got their pre-made gin and tonics.
Oh, okay.
I think
I saw them at the farmer's market, actually, now that you speak of it.
I'm loving when I stop talking and then there's just a long silence and then like, oh yeah.
Well, I was thinking about if it was the same thing.
Yes, it is the same thing because I think they do gins and vodkas. They might do more, I'm not sure, but I got these pre-made gin and tonics. It comes in a 4-pack of cans. And I'm not a gin and tonic guy, but I might be now.
Really? Okay.
I just found them, refreshing isn't the right word, but easy drinking compared to most gin beverages I've ever had, I guess. I like them. I thought maybe it was just something different. I've had a little bit of beer lately, some wine, and I just need the little hit of spice, a little spice in my mouth.
Well, that sounds delicious. Are they expensive?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
I want to say a 4-pack was about $9.
Okay.
Which is reasonably inexpensive, I guess.
Absolutely.
But not quite as inexpensive as just buying gin and, tonic. That is the way to go for price. And silence.
My laugh sounded so creepy, and I'm hoping on playback it doesn't, but I have to say for all those folks out there, if it does, I'm a little bit of a creeper, apparently.
Oh,
what can you do?
I recorded an intro for this podcast, and I actually apologized at the end of the intro for the intro.
For how creepy it is?
It was just so bad, but I thought it was so funny. I've got a new strategy for intros where I just put headphones in and sing along to a bunch of songs and see if I can put Imperfect Image in it and just keep recording the whole time. And if it's funny, then I'm going to put it on the podcast.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I love hearing your little in there too. It's fantastic.
I know. I feel like this podcast is probably going to be a lot of Ashley's creepy breathing.
Yes.
And Ashley's creepy laughter.
Yes.
And then Ashley's pause because she's not sure if Jordan's talking.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
That's the whole podcast.
We're 13 minutes in, and that's about 11 minutes of it.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple alcoholic comments. And that's really it.
You're having a time over there.
I'm having a time, yeah.
So I also tried... Oh, no, now I'm talking. Man, this is a shitty podcast. We should probably just stop forever.
Sorry.
There was another silence.
Do you have any other alcohol? Maybe we should move on to that.
Yes, we have more alcohol if we haven't lost all of our listeners by now. I've been drinking a fair amount of beer from the Zero Issue Brewing Company in Calgary. I've had their Multiverse Pale Ale before, and I've had their Terraform Porter. Both of those are really good, but this weekend I tried the Dystopia White IPA, and again, I don't really like IPAs. I mean, I'll kind of drink it every once in a while, but it's usually after I've had a few. It was good. Like, it had maybe a nuttiness or something to it, but there was something about it that I just really liked. So I'm going to go Terraform Porter is number 1. And then I might be on a tie between the Multiverse Pale Ale and the Dystopia White IPA. But it's a solid line of beers. I'm really happy with that.
I've heard just today about a coworker telling me about these new white IPAs. And we were just talking in general about how there's so many new innovative beers or alcohol products coming out, whether it's the line of sours, which I know you're not really into.
Oh god, those are horrendous. It's like putting vinegar in your fucking beer.
So, you know, for my mouth, that's awesome, you know. But, yeah, one of the things he mentioned was the white IPA, and I actually hadn't heard about it. And then now here you are.
Well, here I am telling the world, or like the 5 listeners that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the last one was when we were over at your place the other day, and B-Rad, who shall not be named, but I'll just call him B-Rad. Or her. Yeah. You never know. Or her. I'm not judging here. We tried that apple pie shot.
Yeah.
Which was made up of Fireball, and then it was that McGillicuddy's apple schnapps.
You betcha, yeah.
And then, so that in itself was phenomenal, and I probably could have just had a lot more of those and felt even worse on Sunday. But then he mentioned putting that whipped cream on top with a Dorito stuck in it and calling it Nacho Grandma's apple pie shot. And I just thought, that's funny.
It's clever.
That is quite clever. So yeah, I highly suggest that. Next party you're having, Fireball and apple schnapps. Banging.
That's what's coming out. Yeah, who would have thought? I'm quite a fan of Fireball, so it's nice to have something to mix it with.
Well, and it kind of subtles it out for the rest of us, too.
Right.
Right.
For the rest of us who don't just like straight up cinnamon all the time.
Yeah, because, you know, that's not healthy. Oh, there's the laugh again.
You know, the laugh is quite fantastic.
It's going to make for a pretty wicked podcast, I think.
I think so. Again, that email address for feedback and comments is perfectimagepod@gmail.com.
I was going to say... Feel free to blast us. I was going to say, don't worry about it @gmail.com.
Yeah, exactly.
We aren't good with criticism @gmail.com.
Yeah.
I'm fragile @gmail.com.
Yes, lots of things that hurt our ego, but whatever. I think we need it a little bit. So, you know, if anyone would send us any email to that that email address,
maybe I should check that email address. I'm gonna check the email address right now and see if there's anything on there.
It's probably blown up with emails.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Every once in a while we get an email just from, I don't know if it's a spam thing or what it is, that's just like, hey, you could add a visual component to your podcast. And then I just ignore it.
Nobody wants to see these faces.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm gorgeous.
True that.
So here's a question for you, Ashley, co-host of the Imperfect Image podcast.
Yes, Jordan.
What are you planning on filling your spring with?
Well,
I believe when we were testing the sound, I said, "What are you going to fill your spring with?" And I heard someone on your end say, "Fucking."
Yeah, that was me. I did say a whole lot of fucking.
Okay.
I then attempted to retract it, but it was not allowed to be retracted. So
gotcha.
That would be stated for the record.
Good. So, lots of fucking.
Yeah, it's a good springtime activity.
Yeah, I mean, that way, you know, babies by the new year.
Yeah, not exactly. Sometimes people do it for other reasons, so going to be practicing that a little bit.
I think you should practice abstinence.
Well, we'll be playing Slow Pitch together, assuming you registered us, and maybe the weather ever gets better.
I did register us, and the weather will get better because God told me so.
Perfect. Okay, so those are both good things.
I have ball on my list, too, so now I don't know what to do. Like, we've covered half of my material.
Quick, pick something else.
I'm just going to keep working and making very little money.
right? I will also be working.
And making a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, I wasn't going to fill in that second part.
Yeah, you knew I was
I'll
in
be
there.
making decent money.
Yes, decent money.
And, you know, one thing I'm really going to be trying to do in the spring here is get out to enjoy my neighborhood. Now that I have a friend here at the home, it's nice to be able to trot down to brunch or a bar or somewhere else and take advantage. So I'm hoping when the weather gets better, that will be part of my spring.
So what you're saying is that you're going to invite me for drinks because you said friend and you didn't say lover, lover, honey bunches, smoochy, smoochy, B-rad.
True. Even Brad took exception to when I said friend. He's like, friend, huh?
Yeah, I know,
So
eh?
yes, your point has been made.
You're the type of person at work who just never acknowledges that you have a significant other. It
It's
just,
like, oh yeah, I have a dad living with me.
yeah, I have a friend. It's great. Helps with the rent.
No.
And then everyone's going, oh, when are you expecting babies? And as adamant as you are that that's not happening, they still continue to think he's just a friend.
Hello. Life lesson. The best lovers are your best friends. So, my usage of the word friend is quite sweet, actually.
Wow, that is horrible backtracking. You're not making that work.
Oh, man.
That's
So
like,
those are my main things.
that's like, if,
I'm also
no, I'm
going
not
with
letting you
my
go on this
hot,
one.
sexy lover
Uh-huh.
to Ontario in June, which would still technically be spring. So that'll be exciting.
June. What day in June?
Same weekend as your wedding anniversary, actually. 10th, 11th-ish.
So, my wedding anniversary to my friend.
To your friend, yes. You and Lauren.
And I
Friends
meant
for
that.
life.
I meant that in the sweetest way. Because she's my friend, which makes her the best lover.
Yes. Thank you for understanding that.
Yeah. Oh, I
Beautiful.
understand. I definitely understand. That's fantastic. What's going on in the old Ontario ho?
Well, as you know, Mr. Bradley is from Ontario, so
Yes.
we will go and visit some of his family
Yes.
and go to a Jays game.
Oh fuck! Now I want to go.
Yeah, it'll be pretty exciting.
I'm gonna skip to the end of my things that may be happening in the spring. I got an email saying that, I think I told you this, United and Liverpool are going to Michigan.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to convince my life that's a life, not wife, my life,
Oh.
that it's okay to go to Michigan in potentially July.
And how are you doing so far on that?
It's kind of an up and down battle, really. At one point, my life seems to think that that's a great idea, and then at another point, my life clicks on my TD Canada Trust app and says, maybe you don't want to spend money, you dumb fuck. My life's not very nice to me.
I can see that, yep. It's kind of tough to decide what to do, so.
But I think
At the
everybody,
end of the day, it's pretty easy.
yeah, everybody knows that United and Liverpool are going to win out.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to spend the money, we all know it.
So that's a thing that might be happening. I keep saying might, but it will probably happen. And then
It's hard to convince your wife to go to Michigan.
my life or my wife?
Wife. Wife.
What the fuck is a mife?
I don't know, but
Is that like when you take a mouse and you dress it up in a wedding dress? This is my mife.
I think it must be. That's the only thing that makes sense.
You
Somehow.
creepy taxidermists, you just weird me out.
You're having a visual now of a little mouse stuffed in a wedding dress?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's too much for me, thanks. I'm thinking another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the old links, the old golf course and swing the sticks.
I can see you doing that, yep.
That's nice. I'm glad that you can see that. I got
I can literally picture it. I'm watching it in my mind right now.
Is it me hitting the ball and then swearing a whole bunch?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to happen because I got my first big old man golf membership. So I got to go and make it worthwhile.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which I'm excited and kind of frustrated because it sounds like the Ryder Cup tournament that they put together every year has the Canadian team and the international team. And my dad and my brother are both on the Canadian team. But if I get in this year, it will likely be on the international team, so I won't be able to play with them. But
Okay.
then there's the cool part that as I get better, I might end up playing against my brother at some point.
Which would be cool. That's kind of like a important thing in your family, right? So
Yeah, and that would be fun, but I mean, I don't think there would be a scenario where I would get to play on a team with him. I might end up getting to play on a team with my dad, but I don't know, it's kind of be interesting to have the two young McWhirters in there, in the trenches, against those fucking internationals. You know, us versus them.
facing off.
Yeah, us versus all those people with accents.
It's getting a little bit racist out there on the golf course, isn't it? That's
Well,
what this is really about.
There's a Canadian international team. I think that's racist in the first place. It should be like Canada versus the melting pot that is Canada. Wait, no, the cultural mosaic that is Canada.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna approach that actually at the general meeting. Like, I don't like the international and Canadian teams. I think you're all a bunch of racists. And then just see what all the farmers say out there.
Yeah, I think you should probably do that. Generally, people in Carstairs really appreciate that opinion and viewpoint, I think. So
Yeah,
see how that goes.
you're calling everybody in Carstairs racist. That's good to know.
Thinking about it.
Well, I'm thinking about
like
doing
it. Feels okay.
I'm stretching my foot out there. I'm dipping my toe in the water, and it's a little frigid. Not gonna do that right now.
I thought you were gonna say I'm stepping my toe out into my mouth or something like that, which I'm also.
No, I mean, you guys can do whatever creepy foot and mouth things you want to do.
That's what we're planning on doing right when this podcast ends. Perfect.
That's awesome. I appreciate you waiting until the microphone's away because I don't need the feedback.
You don't want to hear the wet slurping sound?
I'm just ready for this, right? Like, a little bit
And yeah, anytime something pops, be very afraid.
Oh my god, it was my hymen!
Oh.
So then the other thing I brought up the other day was maybe going fishing. Going to the old fishing hole.
Oh, yes. Good one. I forgot about fishing.
Yeah, having a little boys' time, you know? Really getting out there in nature, just us men, you know, sitting alone in a boat.
Nature.
Yeah, seeing what's happening. Just throwing our rods all over the place.
Seeing what comes up.
See what I can hook, you never know. Maybe I'll find that man that you were talking about earlier in the old podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't that be fucking creepy? Oh my god, now I've got a picture of throwing your hook into the water and be like, oh my god, man, I got a big one. And then starting to reel this in and a guy just climbs into the boat.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah, and you'd be like, dude, how long have you been down there?
So you haven't been fishing for a while then, clearly.
No.
If you think it's possible to pull a man out of the water with your rod, it's been a while.
I don't know. You obviously don't know this rod. I could pull any man out of the water with this thing.
Yeah, that was kind of left right open there for you.
Yeah, you just hung it right out there.
I'm not going to be the one hanging anything out.
I know. I just want to see how long I could go on this rod euphemism.
I think quite a while.
Well, I think your silence there was the end of it.
Okay.
So the other thing I'm thinking of is if I go fishing, I'm on this whole, like, being closer to my food sort of thing. And I don't mean like I take a roast and put it in my bed and sleep with it. I mean, I'm just interested in where my food actually comes from. So things like actually gardening and growing my own vegetables. And then I'm doing a little bit to eat less meat.
Yep.
And that's not no meat. It's funny. I don't really have a problem with people eating no meat. Like, I think there's definitely a positive nutritional component to eating less or no meat.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm just thinking it would be nicer if I was going to eat something like fish if I actually went out and caught it, cleaned it, and prepared it myself. That just seems like a more well-balanced way to eat.
I think you'd be very proud of yourself.
So basically what I want is someone that I know to start brewing beer so that I can be closer to the beer that I drink.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fish, and Lauren's going to garden, and then I've got the 3 components of my diet set right there.
Fish, beer, and garden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much... I'd be a happy guy at that point.
That's all it takes.
Well, I mean, my water just comes out of the tap. I don't really have to search that out.
Well, now you might want to take that a step further and get closer to your water.
So you think I should, like, pee into a cheesecloth and strain it out?
I think so, yeah.
I saw a thing one time on, I don't know, one of those Adventure Man shows. I can't remember which one it was, where he was in the desert and he just created like a little, he was on a hill and he just created like a little, I don't know, a little chute. Like he kind of scraped away a chute in the sand and then peed in the chute, and whatever collected at the bottom was apparently clean enough for him to drink. So
let's build that for you.
Well, what I'm trying to say there is I think I might take a trip to the desert soon.
Yeah, I can see that. And then you'd just be ready to be a man of the earth.
I'm just going to stop this topic right now. That's gross.
Yeah, it got weird.
Yeah, sorry everybody. I don't know about this whole fishing thing though, because I remember going fishing with my dad and not really loving the whole bashing the fish over the head thing.
Yeah, that's probably the part you have to get used to.
And I think there's just a certain person who grew up hunting and that kind of stuff that just views animals as food, and when they're flopping around in their hands, it's just like food with life, and all they have to do is take the life away, and then it becomes food again.
When you say the sentence, take the life away, I get a chill down my spine.
Oh my god. I hope that... B-Rad, what you need to do is you need to cut that portion of the podcast out and then play it just as Ashley's about to go to sleep tonight. Take the life out of it.
Take the life away.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put her to bed and then we're going to take the life away from her.
Very ominous, I like it.
Yeah, there's your horror movie for the spring.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Speaking of movies, dear Christ, Infinity War comes out while I'm gone.
Yes, it does.
Well, while I'm gone in Italy, by the way. Yeah, so audio cut out, and now I have to splice everything together, but we were just talking about Infinity War and me going to Italy.
Jordan does not pick his timing well. He could be at home watching Avengers, but instead he's going to be in Italy drinking wine and kayaking through the streets of Venice.
They're actually waterways.
I was going to say streets, and that's not the right word.
Although the amount that it's melting in Calgary right now, I probably could kayak down the street.
Yeah, exactly right.
Actually, that'd be a lot of fun. I might give that a go one day. I wonder if in, like, Nose Creek in Airdrie, if I just popped out a kayak and started going, if anyone would bug me.
I don't think so.
I might do that this year. I might borrow a kayak from someone and just go for a paddle.
See what happens?
Well, it's not like it would be a long ways. Like, I'd kind of have to go south the way the water flows and then either get out or turn back around and try to go against the current back north. I think there's a lot of low bridges, too.
It felt very beautiful, even when you said south the way the water flows.
See, I got
Imagery.
the catchphrases today. Like taking the life out of it, south the way the water flows. Those are two pretty polar opposite comments there.
I would say so. But they both just kind of brought me almost to tears, maybe.
Really?
That might be a little extreme.
One was tears of absolute terror, and the other one was the stream thing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exciting. So yeah, I might at some point try to see Infinity War in Italy, but I also think that I might get in trouble for that. So I might not do that and wait till I get home.
I could see that going poorly for you. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean,
it might be worth the try.
But if I could create an argument earlier in the day and then just be like, well, fine, I'll fucking leave and then just go see Infinity War, that's an option.
It is an option. I'm not sure it's your wisest choice.
Okay, well, I'll take someone's opinion then. That works for me. But yeah, I'm gonna have to see that pretty much as soon as I get back because I have avoided every single trailer. I haven't watched any on TV, nothing on YouTube. I get articles that pop up on my phone and I've just closed them all. So I have no clue. I've seen no images from the movie. It's pretty impressive.
I don't even know how or why you would do that, but good for you.
Because I hate when all these things are ruined for me. Like, I saw pretty much every cool thing that happened in Black Panther before I saw Black Panther. So it just seemed like, it was just boring.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm blaming the internet for that.
We blame the internet for a lot these days.
And you know what? The internet was created by God and or Jesus, so I'm probably blaming Christianity.
It all ties back to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, if you ask Christianity. And I feel like I want to make fun of another religion at this point, but I just don't know enough about them to do that.
You're missing some information, are you?
Yeah, I should probably read up on that, actually.
That'll be your task before the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to really bash on Buddhism.
Yeah, so you can install one new religion podcast.
That's not a bad idea. Welcome to episode 13. Fuck Buddhism. Now I'm trying to think of another religion. I'm not doing well here.
So I think if we had started the drinking game of the podcast as take a shot every time Ashley laughs like a creep, everyone would be drunk by now.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, listeners. Basically, go back, listen to this episode, and, good luck.
Yeah.
I
If you're still alive in the morning, that's good.
I highly suggest Nacho Grandma's apple pie shot with Fireball, apple schnapps, whipped cream, and a Dorito on top.
Yes.
However, note for the listeners, chew the Dorito before swallowing.
You don't want a Dorito cutting your throat.
I don't want anything cutting my throat personally.
Oh, okay. That's a bit different.
So
we all have our preferences.
So yeah, avoid death. Avoid Infinity War trailers. Avoid fighting your spouse in Italy, even though you want to see the movie. I'm trying to think of all the other things that I'm supposed to avoid.
I think that covers the lessons.
Okay, well, I think that wraps it up. I think we've got a little bit of education. There was some humor. Ashley's wasted and laughing like a serial killer.
And there was a whole lot of awkwardness, so that's always awesome.
A hell of a lot of silence and awkwardness, which if we were professionals, we would edit those things out. But I already have to edit 2 sides of this podcast together, and that's pretty much going to take all week.
So you'll just have to love us for the way that we are.
As imperfect as we are, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Ding, ding, ding.
Huh? Yeah, there you go. Oh, speaking of ding, 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 Lauren went to see a live show of The Price is Right yesterday.
Oh, interesting. I've heard of that.
Did
she like it?
Yes, she seemed to enjoy it. It was a family thing, and I was supposed to go. I had a ticket, but I had to go do first aid at work because why not? Why not ruin my Sunday? So when I was getting out, I got a call from her saying, hey, if you're still in the neighborhood, because it was down at that Grey Eagle Casino, which is right by my work.
Yeah.
She said, hey, if you're in the neighborhood, you should come down because the show starts in about half an hour. But I had just turned north on that Sarcee Trail Road, which there's really no turning back from.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, sorry, I'm stuck. Like, by the time I turn around, drive back down there, the show will have started, and then I'll be that guy walking in and being like, where's Bob Barker? And then he's not there.
Did she win a car?
I don't think so.
Did anyone in her family win a car?
Not that I've heard of, but I don't talk to them all individually.
Wait, were any of them even there?
Yes.
Okay.
I think pretty much everyone except me was there.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the black sheep of that family now, too.
Apparently.
It's not only my own family, it's now that family as well.
That one as well, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't have a good track record with families. So I'm gonna
do personal reflection as to why.
No. I'm just gonna start my own family and see if that goes better. Okay, I can't do silence anymore. I wanted to see how long that one would last.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, lovely.
This is fucking terrible. We gotta get better at this shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I was purposely trying to be silent for a while there, and I think you just fell asleep.
No, my computer, I think, must it's something with the computer.
Okay, so plans for the next time we do this. 1, have better content. 2, get better hosts. And 3, get a better computer.
That's a tall order, but I'll try to contribute 2 of the 3.
I don't even remember what the first one was. Oh, it was the content thing. Wait, which 2 are you gonna do?
Probably better content, better host.
So you no computer purchase in your future?
No.
What if you sell your car, then new computer?
No.
Okay, you're just gonna hoard that money and keep it away from the rest of us little people. Thanks,
Yeah.
Thanks, Calgary Oil Patch.
Right?
Jesus. Well, I'm gonna end the podcast at that point. I'm depressed now.
Yeah, we better end it before this computer dies.
I was just waiting to see how long that silence went to. Okay, well...
So we just go back on and say goodbye and then that's it?
What's that?
Are we just going back and that's it, or are you going to end it?
Well, we're still recording.
Huh?
We're still recording.
Oh, well, that's awkward. Hi, people.
This is the best episode ever.
This is terrible, and it's probably not going to get posted. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, Jesus, man. I'm leaving it as is, and I might put a
Okay.
disclaimer at the start saying, when there's long breaks, just bear with us.
Yeah, take your time. Enjoy.
It's not that far between Calgary and Airdrie, but the internet isn't that fast.
When there's a long break, take the time to give a friend a hug.
Oh, I got an even better idea. Shot every time Ashley laughs awkwardly, and what's that, waterfall every time there's a long pause.
Yeah.
And if you
And
don't know
you're
what
still alive.
if you don't know what a waterfall is, you need to look up Sociables rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, well, with that healthy dose of awkwardness, good night, folks.
Yeah, good night, folks. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see how episode 13 goes.